My agent got a call and said Norman Lear is producing a new show called Good Times, and they'd like to see you. I said, what do you mean they'd like to see me? He said, well, he'd like you to come in and read with Miss Roll. It's going to be her show. That would be Esther Roll, the late Esther Roll, an incredible actress and a wonderful person. Said they'd like you to come in and read with Miss Roll. So I said, sure. Everybody knew who Norman Lear was at that time. I mean, I'd seen the first pilot episode of All in the Family, and I said, there's no way in the world they're going to put that on television. You know, I mean, Archie Bunker was in full mode, man, full bigot mode. And I said, there's no way they're going to let that stuff play on TV. Sure enough, it became a hit. And so when I got the call that Norman Lear was interested, I said, most definitely. I went in, I read with Miss Roll for Norman Lear. It was just the three of us in his office. And when we finished the reading, Norman looked at Esther, and Esther looked at me and looked at Norman and said, he'll do just fine. And thus I became JJ's daddy. Well, the reason being, Miss Roll had insisted that she have a husband on the show. She did not want it to be a perpetuation of the matriarchal black family. She said, no, I want a husband, and he's going to be a working husband, and he's going to be responsible, and that's the way I want to run this family. Everything worked except the jobs. James Evans, my character, was never able to find a full-time job. But then if he had, and a lot of people had critiqued the show on that basis, why can't this man find a job? They thought it was denigrating or degrading, to black men. The truth of it is, you can't live in the projects and make but so much money. So he provided for his family with any job that he could find, handyman, whatever he had to do, and along with whatever meager pittance that Esther could generate, or that the kids could generate by jobs that kids do. But we managed to survive, and America loved that show. To this day, they love that show because it was closer to how most Americans lived at that time. And I would say in these economic times, most Americans are still doing whatever they have to do to survive with underwater mortgages, etc. So it worked out all right.